What is up, winning team? Hello and welcome to part 3 when I'm telling you guys about how I spotted Jezebel when I was on tour in Italy, right? And you have to watch the first 2 parts of this. The first video, I explain why I'm even doing this and just the back history of my life as to why this even matters and why I need to get everything off my chest. Because I am talking about so-called sensitive, messy, whatever type of stuff. But guess what, guys? Listen, watch that video to figure out what happened. In the last video, I described what I didn't tell you guys in the first trip I made to Italy. The little things, the little niggling things that I didn't tell you guys. Oh, one of which that I forgot to say. We're going to be talking about Jezebel. So I was telling you guys in the end of the previous one, this is a perfect way to segue into this video, right? I was telling you guys at the end of the other video that there was this girl who was bothering people, right? And in the group, and that's because, like I said, she was a young hot babe. She was going around and she's one of those, like, you know, whatever. She was all asking guys in the middle of the cafeteria while we were all going to get our food literally in front of us, do you guys want to have a threesome later? And all this and stuff. And she was so funny. Because I find girls like this who are like this so funny because other women find them intimidating. And I feel sorry for them because I'm like, you're actually that desperate for attention. That's really sad. Like, you should, like, love yourself more. I'm like, I feel sadder for you than I do intimidated because anyways, why would I be intimidated? Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholders. If someone's going to find everybody beautiful, I think that's cool. God made us all in his image. We're fearfully and wonderfully made. Nothing to worry about there. Anyways, jealousy doesn't help anything. And anyways, like I said, so she's getting jealousy mainly from the older women. Shock? Are we freaking shocked? No, we're not shocked at all. And then she's being swindled by the younger guys. The older guys like, been here, done that. And the mature women are like, we don't care either. She's just a young girl and she's just doing whatever she wants to do, doing what young girls can do, right? So one of the women referred to her as a Jezebel, which I said to you guys, I think that was just that was the distraction that came out from jealousy and pride, as in, like, because you're jealous maybe that she's young and vibrant and walking around in a little crop top and she's all whatever, with a little following and like all this stuff and doing all this stuff with all these guys and you're all married. Like, it's so crazy sometimes how married people behave. It's like, you know, you're the one who chose to be there. Like, so actually stop acting like you've been in hell. Like, no one's forced you to be there. But anyway, so she was being referred to as that. But what I was telling you guys is, at the same time all this is going on, I'm noticing this feminine entity like at war almost with this guy, the artist himself. And it's because of his music itself that I realize this, because I'm listening to the songs, and the songs, like, now that I think about it, they reek of Jezebel. Like, this kind of like jumping between, like, 1 minute he's singing about like in, you know, I'm trying to really not make it about the artist. 1 minute he's singing out to his mother to save his soul. The next minute he's singing my favorite song, Penne, Lick My Penis. You know what I mean? The next minute he's singing Overdose of Love. I need your love, you're loving me. I need your love, you're loving me. The next minute he's like, I got the devil in me. And it's just like, okay. Anyway, I took away from it that, hey, if you listen to the undertones of it all, this is a man that is suffering with a problem he can't solve, like something he can't pinpoint. And I believe it's because it was Jezebel, because it took me all of 3 years to figure it out. It's like he's done everything right and there's everything to make sense. Because, like, this wasn't making any sense to me. It's like, you are a lovely man. You've built a great entire career. You know what I mean? He clearly had love once upon a time because he has a daughter. She's like an adult. She's probably older than me. And they did a song together which had everybody sobbing their eyes out. You know what I mean? And, you know, and all this stuff. I'm just like, something's not adding up. We're there. We're doing all this spiritual work. And it's actually working. Whether it's the people we came part of our group or even people within, you know, production itself. We're seeing spiritual breakthroughs across the board. You know what I mean? It was like crazy. Like, even for myself, you know, if it wasn't for the advice I got from Omar, who was the, you know, his main lead singer, who's always there, who opens the show and everything. She was the one who was like, maybe if you keep going around, your year keeps playing out the exact same. It's because God is trying to show you the lesson you need to learn you haven't learned yet. And I was just like, oh gosh. So this is why every January I'm like, I got to take January differently. Like, we can't let January be like the last January. We keep repeating the thing. which, to be honest, last year I didn't repeat the thing, and this year I haven't either. So that's where I'm like, maybe this is where it changes finally. But anyway, and, you know, stuff like that. And then, but then as soon as it comes to like him and us trying to like, you know, pray or whatever, there's like this barrier. And and I realized that with time, and this barrier, I will just say it now, is also a person under this spirit. And how I started to notice this is that like every year, it will be like very small things that would try to happen and we wouldn't be able to do it because like there would just be these unnecessary rules. Because every time, like, it would be so weird. Every time you'd catch him by himself, yeah, he's really personable. He's really likable. Like, because a couple of times I would stop, but he would stop. And if I would see him by himself, I would take the advantage to stop and speak and say hello and whatever. Because I'm like, first of all, dude's a human as well. And other people freak out. Like, I should at least, I'm only saying hello. You know what I mean? And he's very nice and very kind. And also, here's where it starts to get serious. He was the one, right? So when we first went the first year, when we got there, all of us in the group were like, do they actually want us here? Because they were kind of acting as if like, well, some people were kind of acting as if like this was one big piece of work for them. And I was like, but they invited us here. So why are they now acting as if it's annoying for us to be here, right? And so then I assumed that year, me and a few others, that maybe that came from himself. Like maybe he's the one like, oh, no, I don't, da, da, da. But as time goes on, I start to realize, no, he's the one who really wanted us there. And it's other things, other entities, other people who are creating the barrier. And that was most proven most recently when for his birthday, he wanted us to be there for 10 days in September, but they only ended up doing one day and he had to pay with his own pocket, which makes me think he was like, this is my birthday. I'm not letting anybody take my day away from me the way I want my day to be. So I need these people here. I'll do it myself if I have to, which he shouldn't have to, because how much freaking money have you not made in the last 3 years, surely? And especially this is the third year we've been there. So you know what it's like for the costs and whatever. They'd been telling us since we left in June. We knew then. When I was still there is when I found out about the September date. So I already knew I was coming back. And even when we left, all of us in the group were saying to each other, see you in September, like, see you in September, or like, see you in September. So like, we all knew already. So it just, so many things are just not adding up about this for me. Like, and this is why I just like, I got to just say it now. I just got to get everything off my chest because I've got nowhere to talk about this. Except with you guys. And I know the crazy part is just that, yes, it's you guys, but it's also the whole internet, but it's you guys. And I mean, look, you know what? Take the risk. Whatever happens, happens. Send me to jail. I've been thinking if I should just actually get arrested on purpose anyway, because then nobody can actually get a hold of me. Isn't that how dark it is? And that's how dark my life is at the minute. You know what I mean? And so like, I'm noticing this like, so like anytime we try to do anything, and the thing about spirits as well, you guys, is, and this is why I said it's this other girl in the group. She was just a distraction. She was just a bit of entertainment for me. She was sweet enough. I sang with her. Like, you know, we talked a few times. We weren't close. We were never going to be because we were kind of operating on very different wavelengths. But there was no, like, clashing with her, if you know what I mean. This is what I'm saying when I say about spirits. And wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities. There was no clashing with her. Like, we were cool. We hung out a couple of times. We just weren't each other's necessary cup of tea because I'm not going to be there at night, you know, going to doing the things that she was going to do. You know, and so, you know, but she was harmless, like, you know, and she just, like I said, I was actually honestly happy to have her to provide some entertainment while we were all there. And then, you know, then obviously the friend, the real problem was this entity that was not able to be pinpointed at this stage. This is now the second year, but it was felt. And I could feel it more because at this point now, we've like, the first year was humbling because we didn't really know what we were walking into. And it seemed as if, because I'll tell you what I think. I truly believe something deep down spiritually within this man is the reason he wanted us there. Because to be honest, he wasn't really getting us to do very much. Like I said, we did like 8 songs. It's not a lot. And it's a lot of effort to go to just have people there. And I almost feel like we were like some kind of a safety blanket because I think him and my friend had worked together before or something. I don't know, but I feel like there was something in him spiritually that guided him to make that decision. I do think that, because we weren't like really like a big portion of anything. We were always at like the end of the show anyway, which, hey, listen, I get to be in a country I've never been for, everything, all expenses paid, and I'm getting paid. I'm not complaining. And I get to learn from like people that are like so severely talented. I'm so happy to be here. And so that's why I tolerated some of the things I told you guys about in the previous video and in general, because it was so worth it for the experience, you know? And I think this is the first year where I'm like, it's not worth it for the experience anymore. It's not worth it for the experience anymore. But yeah, and so I feel like that he knew. So I almost feel like we were like in a way, it's almost like, and I feel like this is natural. It's kind of like with how dogs and kids and like people in general, but especially dogs and kids, I want to say animals and kids. I knew I was saying something wrong. It's because I was specifically thinking of this situation. I had this dog yesterday where this little puppy, right, it was a pug, was like nearly breaking this lady's arm off, and she was with her daughter. And she was going to the daughter, yeah, you know, he just really likes certain people. And I was like, story of my life, right? You know, sometimes, you know, people can sense somebody's energy. And I feel like whether you all know why you want somebody around or not, you just know that you want that person around. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like that's what we were. It's like, whether he fully understood why he wanted us around there, he wanted us around. You know what I mean? And so, you know, it almost like, I don't know, guys, these are my thoughts. And there was something. So it was now in this time when I'm starting to maybe realize that, you know what, I don't think it's him that doesn't want us here, because there is a resistance on a spiritual level, but like it didn't just feel like a baby level demon. It felt like a principality, like felt like a huge. It's almost like a huge like entity, right? Something huge. So I'm like, and something that's been there for a long time and it's gone unchecked for a long time. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do in this scenario? Because can I just come out and say what I'm thinking? Like, what am I supposed to do here? This is all kind of crazy, you know? And so I'm not really sure what to do at this point. And again, I'm still dealing with the same issues that I had the previous year of, you know, the changes happening with things that don't need to be changed. There's just too much pride in the room and people not realizing this and not realizing that, and unnecessary drama. There's a lot of unnecessary things, you know what I mean, when I went the second time around. And then also there was this kind of aspect of getting to know new people, because after the first year, and this was the turning point for me, I remember one of the adults saying to me in Italy, the problem with the younger generation, when I heard this person say that, that was the day I made the decision to actually speak up against the older generations, because I was thinking, how dare you? Because they were like, oh, you know, the younger people, they're just so unprofessional, they're so this and all this, yeah? And I was excluding our Jezebel character here. Everybody was very professional. Here's the two things. One, we're all inexperienced. So that was the year where there was the most young people. That's what's having so much fun that time, right? We're most young people. We're new. Like my friend who's now all over the show doing all these shows, like a year or two back, she was working at Amazon as like a something manager. I can't remember. We're new here. You're supposed to look at us as young folks and you're supposed to go, oh, this is a great time for us to teach them because they are ignorant, not to get annoyed that we're the problem, which is what everybody does. So this is where I'm seeing that happening as well. Right? Second of all, they were very professional. Like these guys work so hard. Like all these young people that I'm referring to, like even the days where we would have a couple days where we wouldn't see each other, like maybe everyone would go home for and come back. These guys would literally be going off to doing other jobs. Like if you look at these types of people's work, if you go onto their Instagram pages, they're constantly working, booking jobs, grinding, not stopping. You know what I'm saying? So like the fact that you're saying this is just unheard of. And again, I feel like it was the jealousy of it all. It's the jealousy. It's always the jealousy, especially from women who, you know, did the goody good thing and they feel good about themselves. They're taking pride, right? In, oh, well, you know, I've been married for this amount of years and I don't do this and I don't do, because I remember one of the conversations me and my friend were having, the new friend that I made, one of the days we were having conversations about some of the guys, and we decided to include some of the other ladies wanted to know because they could obviously tell what was happening. and going down in the vicinity, and we were just, me and her was just talking. And then this one woman, yeah, it's always the married Christian woman, yeah. Whatever you do, like, you do not have sex before marriage. Do not have sex. I'm like, whoa, where did we get that from? What is the obsession? Like, what I want to know, what is the obsession with this, with you people? Like, it's like, are you unhappy? Are you even having sex in your own marriage? Let's be honest. And you're here talking to us. We're just having a giggle. We're having a giggle. It's all a bit fun. And people are doing some flirting. It's not that deep, love. It's not that deep, mate. You know what I mean? And you're actually just ruining the vibe coming in here with that. And I'm thinking it's giving jealousy. It's giving, I miss being young and whatever. And I miss, being able to, because then that's what we would do like in the first year. I mean, we ended up all doing it. And this is what I'm saying. Some of the older people were so cool. Because it was like the late night crew is almost how I could call it. And it was a mixture of us of different generations. And I feel like we would always be like going back from the venue and be like, oh, we're done. But then like there'll be a bar next door. And then it would be like, as we will get to the hotel, it's like, so it's like, yeah, we'll see you in 15 minutes. And we'll go and hang out. And then there would be like some of the older guys, some of the younger guys. And we did that the whole time. Every time we would always go out afterwards and just have a few drinks and have some, snacks and maybe some food if they sell food, they're selling food. And we would just hang out and we would just be talking about stuff. And it was really cool. It was really fun. It was really chill. And, and so it was good vibes. So I'm saying I know that it doesn't have to be this way because I'd be in those situations, it'd be so cool. But anyway, so this is what I'm saying, that some people were just distracted by the wrong things in that moment. Some of us are just making fun of the time. Other people are fixated on other things. Other people are like, you don't do. And like, it's these same people, I'm like, with all your Christianity and your spiritualism, right? Yeah, this is what I'm thinking in my head. These are the thoughts that I'm not saying out loud. How comes we're not talking about this female entity situation in the spirit right now? Why are we focused or fixated on, yesterday was the Jezebel girl going around, today it's us giggling about the guys, and why are we not talking about this? And then when I would try to bring these things up, right, I would get shut down as if like, oh, whatever. That's why when it was last year, when it was done, I remember saying about to my friend specifically, I was like, after I realized it was Jezebel or whatever, and I felt like it was her, the reason why we all didn't end up going for 10 days and all this. So, oh, well, we've done all that we can do. What do you mean? What do you mean we've done all we can do? Lose. That's a lot. So we can't just say we've done all we can do. We can do more. We can do more. We can confront. I'm thinking we can go out and confront and get, this is what I'm saying, get so frustrated, right? Being around so-called Christian people that are just not doing stuff. So I feel like it's so boring. And the thing is, and this is the crazy part, only reason I wouldn't have spoken up is because out of respect for her being the one who brought me. So once again, this is what I'm saying, relationships are a liability. They're a liability. Because if it wasn't for her and me thinking of her reputation and whatnot, and I had just been invited and I had just been booked on the job, but I was just one of the others, oh, you best believe I wouldn't have second guessed going forward. I would have done the same thing I did all these times I stand up for justice. I would have said something. I would have actually said something. So I was feeling so deflated, right? By the time we fast forward all the way back to the third time I've gone, we now know that how it is. I now know how everything's going to go. I'm now prepared. I now know how to deal with everybody. I now know how to manage all the freaking children, right? Because at this point, and like I said, not my lovely crew, because you saw, obviously, Paul and Luke are obviously not part of this group I'm talking about, because those guys are just, they're part of the late night crew as well. And, whatever. We're all off doing whatever we're doing. And, I've learned how to tolerate everybody now. Yeah. And I'm saying specific people. I'm not talking about the late night crew, like I said, or a lot of other people. There's just some people. Because let's not forget, we would all be staying in the same hotel. Also, usually the same hotels with the rest of the production. Kind of crazy, isn't it? And so, yeah, so so fast forward, we go through the second year, things go through, yada, yada, yada. There's new people now because all the young people got replaced. And this is now, like, that's what I'm saying. It's so funny how it was actually being there that actually ignited that flame in me of like, oh, hell no, are we going to be having the younger generation called out? Absolutely not. It was being there, because then I'm coming back and like, obviously now the only reason I was the last remaining young one really there from the first time is just because I was the most malleable and ductile. Right? I was just the most, and I was just quiet. And I was just on my best behavior. I knew how to dot my I's and cross my T's. I'm used to dealing with adults that behave like children, and I'm used to dealing with children. So I know how to respond. I know how to react to cause minimal problems for myself and for others. And so that's what I did. I just behaved. It didn't mean I was okay. It didn't mean I liked it. It didn't mean that I agreed with anything. And it certainly didn't mean I had any respect. It just meant I was doing what I needed to do to get through the situation. That's all that meant. So that's what happened there. So then I'm there, the last one of the young ones from the first time. And this is when it started to get boring because I realized, we really just are. Anyway, the people are lovely though. Can I just say that every single person, most of the people are absolutely lovely there. I just want to point that out. They're so lovely. Like I made so many like cool friends and like contacts for life. And I 100% plan on like when I go back to Italy, going to like visit some of these guys and being like, hey, I'm in your area. Do you want to meet up for like coffee? Should we go for an aperitivo or something? And just catch up with folks. So all these stories, guys, let the record show, we're always talking about a very small group of people having the impact on the greater jury of the sheeple, right? There's always a very small group of people pulling the strings for the losing team. And unfortunately, a very small group of people on the winning team actually trying to do anything about it. And then there's just everybody else in the middle who usually is fairly innocent. You know what I mean? Fairly innocent. So we want us to keep that in mind. So anyway, so I come back. I'm the last of the young folks from the first year, which is kind of sad because the others were all gotten rid of. I don't know how it was explained to them that they were no longer going to be a part of this. I don't know exactly. I don't think a lot of them really cared, if I can be honest. That's where one of those ones where it's like, I don't think you realize that they don't really care. They got the accolade. They can say they did it once. They did it for 1 year or 1 month, whatever that we did it. They now have that on their resume. They're still booking other jobs. The only people really losing out is actually you, because it's good to have people that have longevity in them. You know what I mean? And who are on the scene out there. Those are the best kinds of contacts to have, the people who are early stages of their career and hungry and traveling all over the country constantly. Like those are the greatest contacts to actually have. You know what I'm saying? Because like fast forward a year later, my friend is already doing three different theater productions in 3 different countries in like 2 or 3 different languages. Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Talk about breaking into other industries. So, and so anyway, at this point, I'm now sure that it's this, I know who this person is. And I even brought it up, which again, I kind of got brushed off. My friend kind of brushed it off about it when I brought it up. It's like, I know this. She was like, she kind of was half seeing what I was saying, but she half wasn't seeing it. Which is ironic because at the same time, we had a conversation where I was telling her about my vision and she goes, whoa, you really be having like serious visions from the Lord. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, so do you not think that maybe that's a sign to say? Maybe we should be taking this so much more seriously than we're taking it. But like I said, this is also my fault. And I also don't blame her because one of the things that I've noticed about older folks, is that they are just stuck in their ways. Like, and not in her case, not in a way to try to be destructive. Some of them are knowingly destructively stuck in their ways, but some of them, they've just been in the game for too long and they're just too used to things that like the newer thing is just like, we just can't shift our mind there. We just can't. And this is why I say it doesn't surprise me about this whole Moses' generation dying in the wilderness thing. Because it's like, yes, there were the few of them that were, there was a lot of them that I'm sure were just complaining, but there was a lot of them who I think were just stuck in their ways. Because for me, it's like the same reason why, I've noticed in a lot of even in these anime that I like to watch in Luffy, a lot of times the reason why it ends up being a young person is because the young person just doesn't know the rules and regulations, the traditions, the religions. So they're just going in blindly. And they're just going in blindly and seeing what they can get and seeing what happens. Whereas the older you get, the more you're like, oh, this is frowned upon and this isn't allowed and this isn't this and this isn't. You learn all the societal rules. And again, who writes the rules? It's the devil, in my opinion. So, so I'm now realizing, it's definitely. So now I'm now feeling isolated now at this point because I'm like, God, what do I do? Maybe I'm wrong because, I'm the only person who seems to be taking this seriously. Or if I'm right, then what the hell am I supposed to do? Because I'm just a wee lass here. I'm the least experienced singer. I'm one of the youngest ones here. I don't even fully fluently speak the language. What am I supposed to do? And I'm hit between a fence here because anything I do has an impact on the reputation of the person who brought me here. What am I supposed to do? with this. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where that went. And then after the second time I went, I kind of knew I was getting myself into it. And it's ironic because every time I went, I kept telling myself every year, I never told you guys this. I was like, and I'm not going back. I was like, I'll be telling myself, like, I'm not going back if they ask next year. Every year, like, I'm not going back if they ask next year. And then I'd go back. This year, I'm really not going back. I just don't see the value. Like, unless I'm going on the mission to like, and I just don't think it can because of the circumstances of how I ended up there. And I honestly believe, if you really want to know my opinion, I think that there was multiple roles and multiple people were supposed to play. And I don't think I'm the only one who didn't do what I was supposed to do. That's the scary thing. I feel like there was multiple parts because, you know, like I always say, guys, it's a group project. It's a team thing. We all use the gift or the talent or the skill that we have to contribute to the overall group project. So in this case, my ignorance and my youth was working in my favor, that everything just seemed very black and white. And also because most people are speaking in Italian and I can't understand what's being said a lot of the time. A lot of the times I'm just going off of like my impressions of people, people's spirits, the energies, the wavelengths, more than I am the physical words, more than I'm getting caught up in the conversation. I'm more reading people's energy and stuff like that. And then obviously where I do go deeply spiritual with the Lord, excuse me, I probably have more time because I am young and I don't have a family and I'm not married and all this. I have more time to just spend with the Lord, which is one thing I don't want to have to give up. You know what I mean? So I have the time to be spending hours and hours and hours, you know, with the Lord giving me these visions at this time and me being out at that time and all this. I have the physical time to do those things because where I'm at, but it's like when everybody needs to play their role at where they're at. And that's why I get frustrated with the elder generations a lot of the time. Because I'm like, where you're at, you guys have tools to play to the team effort as well. But instead of playing as a team, y'all want to be calling us out talking about the problem with the young people is. Excuse me? So what I've realized is that's why I feel like it's actually genuinely pointless for me to actually even be there. Because unless there was some strange way of coming around everything I'm saying now, there's no way without there being more believers on board. Do you see what I'm saying? There's no way to achieve what I'm trying to achieve because there is a big entity and I am just one woman and it is a huge risk. You know what I'm saying? And I'm young as everything and the devil's going to throw all those things in my face, right? Because that's what they do. So that's why you need a team that's going to back you up because the devil's going to throw in my face like, oh, but look at you, but you're only so young. Who are you to say this? You don't even live in the country. You don't even this. You don't even that. You don't even this, right? It's always the devil's a king of knowing how to find ways for people to discredit you, right? That's what he does all the time. It's discrediting. That's why canceling works so well. Like his Temptation Trio, Cancel Crazy Coffin. Because if you get cancelled or you're seen as crazy, that's the quickest way to discredit you. Oh, it's even the age thing. Oh, these young people, discredited. Oh, you don't know how the system works. You're not in the industry. Discredited. Like they know how to discredit you very well. And so that's the other thing I'm thinking of, where I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to be discredited, like in the face of this all, you know, and create a mess for nothing. Like I have to walk with wisdom, but then maybe I should have just gone out all guns blazing like I would have in my younger years and just been like, to hell with it. I'm going to just do what I have to do. And whatever's the backlash, there's the backlash, which is what I really think I should have done. But yeah, so anyways, after all is said and done, I eventually leave. I then do all my thinking I'm not going back again. And then I went back again for the third year. Now in the third year now, I now have sussed everything for what it is. And you guys saw me show you everything that happened. And I'm sure of it at this point. And I'll tell you why I'm sure. Because I saw this man looking so much more exhausted. And I saw this woman looking fabulous. She was looking fabulous. She'd like dyed her hair. Her hair was looking lustrous. She was looking bouncy and youthful. And that's when I know there's a Jezebel, because usually if there's a Jezebel, like in somebody's life, particularly a man's life, his health is going to be affected. His health. He will suffer health issues. And that was a sign to me like, oh, now I know. Now I know it's you. But bearing in mind at this point, whilst I'm there, I still haven't figured out the name of said entity. I just know there's a feminine type of entity. And you would think it'd be so obvious that it'd be Jezebel, but that's how she works. She's in the shadows. Like, that's why, like, you know, she's in the dark. Just like how, you know, with these pastors and leaders, you don't know, it's Jezebel who's controlling them, but you can't see the Jezebel. You just see the puppet. You don't see the puppet master. They're just the puppets. She's the puppet master. So even our annoyances and our anger and our whatever, they're the ones who go on the chopping block. She's just going to move on to her next victim in behind the shadows. So it doesn't surprise me that it took me so long to try and pinpoint it. But then also because I'm back and forthing of like, am I overthinking it? No, I can't be overthinking it. Am I overthinking it? No, I can't be overthinking it. Well, nobody else seems to be seeing it. So maybe I'm the crazy person. Like, this is literally the story of my life, of me going around and all these versions of what could or couldn't be happening, trying to figure out what the hell is happening. Anyways, so the long and short of it is, she then, what happened after this? Where was I going with this? Oh, yes. So, yeah, because I'm going to come back to the third year, right? So she's looking all vibrant, whatever. And I immediately was like, oh, it's definitely you. Like, it's definitely you, a particular person. I'm not going to say who. It's definitely you. And I can see it because this person's also very much a control freak, like a massive, massive control freak, in the sense of like overbearingly trying to like micromanage all these little situations that just don't really need micromanaging. Like, it's not that deep. We're all on the set. There's plenty of security. It's like she would really try to gatekeep this man, as if like, I can't let him out of my sight. I can't let anybody near him. And it came across to me as though like, and this is where the Jezebel of it all. I'm gonna actually talk about this as its own video, I think, and it'll be the final one, maybe. I don't know, because I really, you could just really see like the way she was conducting herself. It was the classic case of the man who sees this woman doing absolutely everything for her and feels like he owes her everything, and the woman who's just looking like she's doing absolutely everything, even though everything she's doing is for her own personal gain. That's what it feels like. I'm just going to say it. And it's a tale as old as time. It's examples I've seen so many different times, because that's just the easiest way. It's the easiest way to go and manipulate a man, is to like go and act as though like, yeah, I'm going to do absolutely everything. I'm going to love you and nurture you and look after you and like, you know what I mean? And do everything. And then they're like, wow, no one's ever loved me like that before, because of course, men, they go through the struggles in this life. And so that's the easiest way. And so when I see this stuff, it's like, well, but the thing is, and the problem for me, and that was it, was where we got to the end of last year and it was like, oh, he wants to do his birthday thing and he's having to pay with his own pocket. Get out of here. But yeah, anyways, come back for part 4, where we're going to talk about, what are we talking about? Come back to part 4. Come back for part 4, where we're going to talk about exactly what I think is going down with this Jezebel thing. I don't know how I'm going to word it, but I'm going to figure it out as we go, because I feel like I now want to say why I believe and give just some examples of why I believe that Jezebel was there. Maybe that's what I should call the video. Because the funny story is, like I said, I didn't realize it until literally I got off the plane in the United Kingdoms. Got off right when I stepped my foot on the ground. It hit me. I was like, oh, it's Jezebel. And little did I know that now that I knew it was her, and I started calling her out, and I fly off to Poland, and next thing you know, she showed herself. You guys are here for it. She showed herself. She appeared before me, and I couldn't believe it. And I feel like, genuinely speaking, it was because she was genuinely like, whoa, it's not often I get spotted, because it took some of us 3 years. This is why I hate having to go back to normal life, because it's like, I wish I could spend my whole life doing all this stuff, because then we would be getting further. But unfortunately, I'm still a slave in Egypt, or rather in the wilderness. If life's a game, let's play to win. Catch you guys in part 4. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. I'll see you in my next one.